If you just googled Claude Mac download recently and clicked on a Google sponsored search result, I want you to stop and pay attention. Attackers have bought multiple ads on Google search targeting people looking to install Claude app for their Mac. So what ends up happening is you'll Google download Claude for Mac and come across this Google search result, which is actually a sponsored result. It's an ad, but because it's an ad, it appears at the top above the organic search results. Now, first of all, the ad itself points to Claude AI, which is the official Anthropic Claude domain. So nothing looks suspicious at first. But when you click on this ad, it takes you to a chat, a legitimate chat hosted on Claude AI. It's a shared chat which looks like it's been created by Apple support. That's how the threat actors are positioning it. And it gives you step-by-step, succinct instructions to paste this piece of code into your terminal. That is the command that installs malware on your system. Let's take a look at this step-by-step. Researcher Burke Albirock spotted this yesterday. He shared his findings on LinkedIn. And interestingly, when I was trying to verify and reproduce his findings, I ran a similar Google search. I came across multiple separate chats that are doing the same thing. So it's not a one-off problem, it's a whack-a-mole situation. Even if Google takes one of these chats down, the other one pops up doing the same. All of these chats and domains were live yesterday when we published our report on Bleeping Computer. Now let's take a look at what this does. So the base 64 instruction that the Claude chat is asking you to paste in your terminal, it just contains a URL to an external website, likely a compromised domain, but also it could be a domain run by the threat actor themselves. And this command downloads a shell script that runs entirely in memory, skipping any files on disk that your antivirus can flag. Now, interestingly, the variant I found, it first checks if you're based in Russia or the CIS region, and if so, it exits execution immediately. Otherwise, it fingerprints your machine. That means collecting your IP address, username, hostname, and just profiling its victims. It then pulls a second stage payload and runs it through OSS script, which is remote code execution. But the researcher Albirock's variant skips all that. It goes straight to execution, stealing your browser credentials, cookies, keychain data. Why is this campaign different? After all, malvertising is nothing new. In recent times, threat actors have been buying Google ads to run sponsored search results, which appear legitimate, but when you're searching for a specific software program, they take you to a malicious website or a phishing website. What's different about this campaign is what I said in the beginning. First of all, the domain that appears in the ad itself, Claude.ai, it's official. And the target URL that the ad leads you to also begins with claude.ai/share/ because it's a legitimate Claude chat being abused by a threat actor to host their malicious resource. So this makes it very difficult for both technical and non-technical users alike to spot this. Oh, and one more interesting thing we noted was the polymorphic nature of the second stage payload. You see how many times I refresh this link, which is being fetched by the base 64 instructions, every time it served a new payload. So I think functionally the code itself is identical in what it's doing, but every time you get a variant of it. So there's no way to statically map this to a signature or a hash. Earlier this year, threat actors ran an identical campaign targeting macOS developers searching for Homebrew, which is a popular package manager. Targeting Claude, however, casts a much wider net, reaching non-technical users who may simply be curious about AI and are less likely to scrutinize a terminal command before running it. So my advice, regardless of wherever an instruction ever comes from, always think twice before pasting things in your terminal. You don't know if it's legitimate or if it's a hacker-controlled document that you're reading, but pasting things in terminal, only do it if you know for a fact what it's doing. And even then, there can be workarounds in it. You may have accidentally copied, pasted hidden characters, or for example, white text on white background that you may not see, but it's visible to your terminal and will be executed. Something to keep in mind. So when you want to download any software program, whether it's Claude, GIMP, whatever, just go to the official website of the vendor themselves. In this case, it's Claude.ai. They will not ask you to paste anything in terminal, at least not for the general audience, maybe for developers, but still, you should always go to the Claude.ai website directly. Now, if you did end up clicking a sponsored ad like this and following the instructions verbatim and copying pasting the terminal command, I hate to say it, you should assume that your system is compromised, your secrets are exposed. So if I were you, I'd immediately disconnect my system from the internet, rotate all passwords, credentials, proceed to factory resetting the system, and make sure I do my due diligence before I come back online. So do check out the full Bleeping Computer report that we published yesterday on this incident. Once again, shout out to researcher Burke Albirak for alerting everyone on LinkedIn of this ongoing malvertising campaign. And please stay safe out there. Threat actors are always finding novel ways to get to you, and this time they're using legitimate URLs and legitimate users. I'll see you in the next episode of Security Report. Thanks for watching.